So now we are going to kind of talk to you about what you would have in your kit for the snowman. So you will get another pot, you will get a saucer, a top, you will get your ribbon, you will get your jar, you will get 2 to 3 white paints, a black paint, and 3 buttons. You will get a paintbrush, and you're gonna need some paper or something to put on your pot and your saucer and your knob to be able to feel comfortable painting, moving it around, twisting it and stuff, so that it would be pretty much the same thing with the Grinch, just easier to move, to turn around instead of having lifting the pot and getting more paint on yourself or on other things. So as we talked about before with Miss Palazzi doing the Grinch face, she's going to once again do the snowman face. So when you get your container, it will already have your snowman on it. Once again, we had used the Cricut. We have done 2 different steps, the eyes and the mouth, and then separately the nose. So she's going to use the transfer paper, and she's going to do the initial eyes and mouth. So you're going to take your transfer paper, you're going to use your fancy little Cricut tool, and you're going to rub that out so that it transfers to your transfer paper. All right, so what she's doing with the other tool is she is trying to make sure that once you have put down the contact paper, that when you're pulling up the contact paper, that the sticker is coming off with the contact paper. If you're having some difficulties, she uses this another Cricut tool to kind of just help it generally guide up the sticker so that you're not having to lay it all back down and try to scrub it back out. Okay, so she did very well. So once she's done that, like I said, you would want to wipe off your glass, make sure there's no debris, make sure there's nothing that's going to stick on it with the sticker. You're going to look at your placement where you would like it. Once you're comfortable with it, you're going to press it down, rub it in, and it takes a little finessing and patience, right?
Yes.
Patience.
And concentration. Did I say that before?
I think we just said patience.
Okay.
So once you've done that, you slowly but surely try to take up the contact paper and looking to make sure that your stickers have stuck. And it looks like we've been successful. So now, once that part's done, she's going to do your nose. Same thing, you're going to use your contact paper, put it over your sticker. You're going to rub out the sticker.
That came up nicely.
Very nicely. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. So initially, you're going to find the best position. You kind of want to kind of tilt it kind of that direction a little bit. Yeah. There you go. And then initially, you can slant the nose, you can lift the nose. It just depends on how you feel about it. Like we said, we're going to end up doing these for you prior to, just so that they're already pre-done. And that came out very nicely.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, so initially, once your glass snowman is done, you're gonna set that aside again. And the items that you should have should be in front of you, and we're going to do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and put a knob and the saucer on one plate, and we're gonna go ahead and take the pot on another one. This comes in different steps. We're going to have Miss Palazzi, she's gonna go ahead and paint the top. So we can do it in different ways. So initially what I was thinking is that the rim of the saucer we would paint black, and then the top part we would paint white. Then we would use our topper and paint that black as well. So it comes in different steps. You would always want to paint white first, because you can always fix the white if it had ran over into the black. The same thing with the pot. So initially the rim of the pot we're going to paint black, and the body of the pot we're going to paint white.
And what kind of paint is this?
to your second coat and everything is dry, you're going to clean up a little, as you can tell we have. And now we're going to start assembling. So initially, when you're cleaning up, it would be a good time to go ahead and plug in your glue gun, get your glue stick ready and stuff, and then we're going to start. So initially, you're going to start with your saucer and your topper, and you are going to want to actually not glue on your saucer. You're going to want to glue on your knob. So you just want to start in the middle, kind of get a good clump going, and then you're going to initially figure out what is your center. You're going to then press down and hold for a good 10 seconds. It's okay if the glue comes out. It makes it more that it's going to be secure so that it doesn't come off each time you try to go into your candy dish. Okay, so we're gonna have that. Then what you can do is just let it sit, let it cool off. That part is done. So next you're gonna go with your body. So initially, before you even think about doing your scarf, you would want to go ahead and do your buttons, because your buttons location is going to determine where your scarf is going to be. So we have given you a container with 3 buttons. And so we're going to look around our body of our snowman, figure out which side looks best, which one you like. Doesn't really matter, it's up to you. And you're going to, once again, you're going to hot glue your button. You are not going to hot glue the body of your snowman. So you're going to just take a little bit of hot glue. Once again, get a nice little clump going. And I prefer to start at the bottom. So initially, I'm going to go where the lip is, and you're just going to press kind of on the 2 sides and hold there for a few seconds, and then it should be able to stay. So you're going to repeat that. Once again, you're going to have some. And a nice little pile there. And you want to position them ever so slightly apart because you don't want them on top of each other. So initially I always put like a finger in between and say, oh, that looks like a good position. And once again, take the 2 sides, push and hold, and it is okay that the glue comes through. It's not noticeable, it's very clear. And once it dries, we can always go back and clean it up a little bit. As you can see here, in the holes of the button is some glue. So initially, you can just go ahead and pick that out if you don't like it there. Some, they don't really care. It's really up to you, okay? And then you're gonna do your last button. Once again, get a nice little pile going. And do a finger and initially follow the same pattern going up. Okay? What do you think?
I think it's perfect. Very cute.
So you can go back, clean it up, you know, let it dry a little bit, few seconds. If you really don't like that you put too much glue on, because there are sometimes you might have too much of a pile of glue, what you can do is you can take a smaller thin paintbrush and go back over it with white and cover up the glue on that. So that's a little trick, or you can even use black to cover it up, just depends on what you feel. Okay, so now you have the body done, you have your topper done, your faces are ready to go. The only part left is what a snowman needs, scarves. So initially you can leave it in a 1 piece. If you don't want a big scarf, you can actually fold it in half. These are wire ribbons, so it's easy to fold in half. So you're gonna have to fold it in half, So it's really up to you how you want it, but initially you want to start in the back, this being your front. And if you folded it, you can just take it from the top, and you're gonna wrap it, and you're gonna bring it around the buttons. So initially this top part would be glued right here, because that's where it would had ended from the back. And then you're gonna take the other part, and you can kind of in between the buttons and glue another one here and another one at the bottom. And initially that would be your scarf. Now I'm going to show you if you had chose to do the wide version. If you choose to do the wide version, same thing. You're going to start in the back, wrap around the top. You're going to end up covering a button. You can choose to do it this way and cover a button, which is fine, and wrap it down like so. Or you can do it the opposite way. You're going to wrap it around and go down this direction. So it's either side, it just depends on what you prefer and what you like. As well as there's also a third option. A lot of options here when it comes to scarves. So you can always do the start in the back, kind of make it equal. You can always kind of come down and cross at the bottoms and do a version like this.
That's cute.
So your top button and your bottom button is showing. So you can always do something like this. So, and necessarily there's a lot of different directions, a lot of different ways that you can do a scarf. So I personally like the thinner one that makes it look so you can see all three buttons. So I'm gonna start in the back, and I'm going to see where I end up here. You want to measure it. So if I'm like this direction and I'm going to come here, I know that my piece has to come here, so that's not long enough. So you want to reshift it. So you just kind of spin it to where you want it before you glue it. Okay, so mine's going to end like this, and then it would come down like so. So let me go ahead and glue that in place now. So once again, you've wrapped it around. You're going to, where your thumb is, you're going to take your glue gun. Lucia, if you want to hold the back piece for me, that one by my finger, yep. And just kind of hold it so it doesn't kind of come undone. Get your glue stick going here, okay? There we go. And just enough to hold down the ribbon. So you're just gonna kind of press that on there. Give it a few seconds before you give it a nice little tug. Okay, then you're going to fix the top, kind of bring it down and around like this. And then we're going to join it right here so that we can kind of go in between the buttons here. So again, we're going to glue in that same area but on the opposite side where it ends, and we're going to pull it together and bring it in, and then you're going to hold that piece. So it's kind of like this, and then we're going to hold that for a few minutes, and then when we're going to bring it down, you know, just a secure way, you know, just another one would be perfect. That way it's just not hanging off there. So you're gonna go in between your buttons, do another little dab. You're going to slide it down, so hold in between the buttons. Then if you want it to hang freely, you can. For me, I personally like to kind of have it down a little bit more. I like just the very, maybe like less than an inch to kind of hang off to kind of make it look like it's flowing. So just before the rim, I'm gonna go ahead and do another glue stick and a little spot there. And then we're going to finish with the wrap and hold it there for a few seconds. And then we're gonna fray it. Your ribbons will come frayed. I just didn't fray this one yet. I didn't bring a pair of scissors. That's okay. So to fray, if you want to fray your scarf, you can. You're going to come in at the bottom. You're going to come into the corner, a nice little cut, not very much. It's kind of like a small triangle. Then you're going to kind of tilt it a little bit, and you're going to come at this end, kind of towards the corner, and cut that one off. And so it should look it's just cutting a triangle however you like to, give it a little different design or look. So once you have done this, you then are going to put glue as much as you can, a lot. It's very good to have a lot of glue for this part because this is the where you're going to hold your glass. So we're going to add a good amount all around the top here. You don't want it to go over the rim, you just want to really stay inside here. Like I said, a good amount is the best to have because then you know it's going to be secure. So once you have that, you're then going to make sure the front of your snowman face and the buttons line up. And you are going to place it, let me make sure, let me turn it a little bit toward me so I can make sure I got it. Okay, and once you do, you're just going to kind of press and kind of hold it there for a good 10 seconds just to allow the glue to stick to the glass. So once you have your top on, then you can fill it with any kind of goodies, any kind of treats. So Lucia and I got Hershey Kisses. So you're going to fill it with whatever goodies you have. I know my kids, they love peppermints. My son loves Hershey Kisses, so we're kind of get a little bit of a mixture of both. These gifts are good for teachers, friends, relatives, just super cute, super inexpensive, fun to do. And then your topper. And there's his hat. So, and there is your snowman, all said and done, ready to go. So, when you're ready for a sweet treat, here you go, friend.
Thank you.
And just a very simple, easy, wonderful, cute little gift for the holidays. Merry Christmas.